What's going on, my visionary dreamers? Adion here, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And you are viewing Chronicles of Livin TV, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know us extraordinary folk over here doing the damn thing the best way we can. And yes, it's a little windy out here. I'm out here in nature as I love to be. It's actually nice, but it's just a little windy, which is good because it's not too hot, not too cold, you know, that in between weather. Anyway, yes, to those who are just tuning in for the first time, thank you for viewing this video. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can see all the videos that I upload, because you never know when I'm uploading, okay? And to my returning viewers and listeners, I love you, and I love you too, new viewers, but I really love you guys for sticking with me and being patient with me throughout my journey with Chronicles of Livin. So without further ado, let's get to the topic, okay? This is why self-love is so important, okay? This topic just came to me because I've been on this journey for a good while now, learning who I am, learning about myself, learning the things I like, learning the things I dislike. And I do truly believe that in life, some people never get on that journey. They never get on that path as to learning who they truly are. You know, some people just go through life just living, and they never discover their true self, their true higher self, and the reason why they're here, their purpose, their assignments, you know, things of that nature. And through research and through the things that I've learned along this path and along my journey is that, you know, the first 7 years of our life is basically we're learning through recording. We're like a recorder because we really can't make decisions for ourselves. We're just learning from the environment, the people that brought us up, raised us, our guardians, and things of that nature, and what we see through the eyes of everybody else as opposed to our own eyes. And from that view, we decide what life is really truly all about, what love truly means. So for instance, if you know you grew up and as a young kid, up until the age of 7, you were you know, growing up in a toxic environment, in a chaotic environment, then that's how you might view love. You know, that's how you might view, this is the way you love each other, this is the way you appreciate each other, respect each other, because that's all you saw. And so from that, most likely you're going to attract more people with that same vibration. The vibration that we become is what we attract. And then on the other side of things, if you grew up in a family that basically just always practiced love, you saw everybody always hugging on each other, you know, giving each other a kiss on the cheek or whatever, and telling each other that, you know, I love you cousin, I love you brother, I love you mother, or whatever, then that is your view on life. And this is what you believe that, you know, you need to bring to the world. And sometimes that can be a little dangerous because, especially when you're young, you know, because you just think that the whole world is like this and the whole world is accepting of the love that you have learned from your family, you know. And then you find out that the world is not all that loving. And you run across many paths that of people that did not get the same love that you received in your household and in your family, and therefore they are bleeding out the form of love that they grew up under, which will cause a lot of hurt and a lot of pain in your life, you know. So I hope I kind of gave you a little synopsis of this topic, the best way I can describe it. So for me, I grew up in a family that was very loving. And yes, we did have our challenges. We had our fights within the family, still do, disagreements and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but if somebody mess with any one of our family members, we're going to war for them. Regardless if we not speaking or whatever, we're going to war. Okay, that's just how it was. But yet, we would always have these family events, and people will always want to come because they knew that they were going to have a good time. They knew that my family was just very welcoming. My grandparents pretty much set a certain standard, and they were so welcoming to all of our friends, to, my mother, when they grew up, all of their friends. It was just a house to hang out at, So that's what I saw. I saw my grandfather being that man that went out and worked, and my grandmom, by the time I was of age, she used to work too, but she was, pretty much stayed at home, did all the cooking and stuff like that. But she was a sassy something now. She spoke her mind. And that's a part of love too. You speak your mind. You let a person know how you feel. You don't just let people walk all over you, But as you grow older and you get into relationships, love changes, in so many different aspects. Again, you can come from different sides of the fences, and so now you're kind of learning each other, and through learning each other, it can be good, it can be bad, it can be toxic, it can be chaotic, it could be all kinds of things, and so this is the reason why self-love is so important, because once you learn how to love yourself, then you will value yourself, you will know your self-worth, and therefore you won't accept nothing less than what you know you deserve in your life. But before we get to that point, because a lot of times we have to learn many lessons before we can even grow to that point of knowing what true love is and how it feels, because now you're out there in the real world and you're getting it from different angles. You're meeting so many different people from so many different walks of life, most likely, and different cultures, even different ethnic backgrounds, religions. The way they express love is different from one another. So now you're learning the different languages of love, So again, self-love is very important, because it is your way to express to others love, your take on love. I'll say that. And so for me, growing up, in dating, I've always worked hard at putting out love, the love that I experienced in my household. And therefore, and for some reason I would attract men that I don't think had the same type of love in their household. And I would want to show them what love really was and fix them. For some reason, it just was a project to me. You know what I mean? No, this person's going to learn what real love is, and that, I'm just, I just want to be kind to them. I just want to show them, what caring is all about, and that, okay, I really care for you. I care about your well-being, things like that. And of course, I've dated people that, of course, I loved more than others. That's just a way of life. It's all a lesson. You're learning from others, you're growing inside, you're growing that heart space, that heart chakra, into love, into the real meaning of love and the way you need to express it, So I don't want to ramble, but I had to get to a point in my life, and this is, throughout my journey, that I had to start putting me first. I had to start being more aware of love for myself, so that I wouldn't keep putting people before me. And that's not just with intimate relationships. That's with family, friends, everybody. Just learning how to say no, because I was always a yes person, always because I wanted to love so much and I wanted people to know that I care so much. I would always put myself out there and want to do so many different things for people and help them out in so many different ways. And through doing it, of course, it led to a lot of disappointment, a lot of different hurt, a lot of different pain, in so many different ways, and so many different levels. And but again, through it all, I had to make the choice. Was I going to be bitter, or was I going to learn from those relationships? Was I going to learn as to who I am and what am I supposed to do with this disappointment, with this pain or hurt, you know? And I just always chose to love. I always chose to show love, or either I'm just cutting you off. I'm just cutting you out of my life. Those were basically my choices, because my thing was I didn't want to be bitter. Now, in my younger years, I was a trip. I gave it back. Whatever way somebody, you know, hurt me or did me dirty, I wanted to give it back, because again, I was learning. I was learning about myself. I was learning who I am and what love really meant, you know. So I see it's 10 minutes and I want to make this video long, but you know, I just want to get across to you that no relationship that you have experienced is for granted. None of them, you know. You have people out here that go out here and want to love many people and think that that's the way to go about things. A lot of men and some women, they think that having sex with multiple people is expressing love, where having sex with so many different people is really a form of insecurity. It's really a sign of insecurity with that person is going through, and they're just looking for love through other people to validate who they are, to validate that they are the man, they are the woman, and through that, it's only going to generate more pain. You know, I know, because, you know, I went down that path because of being hurt by somebody I loved a whole lot. I just felt like, okay, I'm just going to date. I'll just, you know, that whole bit, and I'll just try my best to keep my feelings, you know, a little bit back. And it really didn't serve me any good, you know. It didn't serve me any good. I mean, I know that now. But like I said, it's a journey. We all learn. Am I bitter? No, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter about anybody I've ever had a relationship with. In fact, I've always just, you know, I love everybody, and some people I haven't seen, I just wish them well. I wish them all well, no matter how dirty I think they did me. You know, I just wish them all well. And I realized that, as I said in the beginning of this video, they are expressing love in the way they grew up, what they seen in their household, the way they seen or the way they saw their mother, their father give love and receive love. So you take a person that's been abused and that keep going into abusive relationships. Of course, this is something that they learned from their parents in some type of way, or somebody that raised them, you know. Or either it could be the fact that, you know, again, they don't know how to love themselves, and so therefore they believe that somebody abusing them is a form of love. And this is why it's so important for you to learn who you are and to learn how to love yourself, you know, because you will know that love don't hurt. It don't hurt. You know what I mean? You're going to have your disagreements, but love feels good. Love is happiness. Love brings you joy. You know, love is about encouragement. It's about supporting one another, encouraging and inspiring one another, motivating one another, just being there for one another, you know, throughout each other's journey. Love is about lifting each other up and congratulating each other. Love is not jealousy, envy, none of those things, competition. Of course, competition in a healthy way, but it's not about that. It's about coming together as a collective and raising the vibration of those around you, of the environment around you, and constantly working on yourself to give out love. If we all learned how to love ourselves, do you know how powerful we would be as a collective, as a world? Oh my gosh, it would be awesome. So yes, I have come to the point in my life that love is effortless. Let me just say that. Love is effortless. So I'm at a point in my life where I'm going to give love, but I have my boundaries set now. So I'm at a point in my life where if it's not returned to me, I'm definitely that'll teach me how to deal with that person. And yet I will still continue to show love, to people, but I will know how to deal with that person. So for instance, where I'm at as far as relationship, I'm just like, okay, God, at this point in my life, I done seen it all. I done experienced enough. So I only want someone in my life that is ready to love me, that is ready to love the journey that I'm on, and of course me to them, that I want to love them in their journey, and that is not about money, it's not about materialistic things, it's not about none of that. My mom will always say, oh, I praying for you, a man, and got this, that, and the other. And I had to explain to her, like, okay, I don't want that for my life. What I want is a man that is full of love, full of, has a heart of forgiveness, has a heart of giving, wants to make a difference in this time-space reality, wants to make a difference in people's lives. That's where I'm at. And I guess I'll just be on my own until I find that person, because I just refuse to give any more of myself to people that don't know my value, that don't know my worth, and they can't see it. You have to get to that point where you set boundaries and you respect yourself more than others respect you. You get what I'm saying? And that's not in an obnoxious way or conceited way. That's just in a for real way. Because how you love yourself, how you respect yourself, is how others are going to love you and respect you. So you can't expect somebody to love and respect you if you don't love and respect yourself. Whatever your occupation is, whatever you're doing out there in the world, that's one thing. But if you don't love yourself, if you don't respect yourself, if you don't honor and value yourself, guess what? And you don't set boundaries and let people know, okay, this is where I'm at in life. And if you don't want to be there with me, then, I still love you, but I got to keep it moving. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at in life. And that's what family, friends, any intimate relationships or whatever, that is where I'm at. And I'm not going to accept less for myself. I used to in the past, but enough of that. Okay. So I'm going to end this video because it just turned out to be really long. And I didn't really want that, because I hope you get to the end of this. But at the end of the day, love yourself. I know that everybody grows up in a different environment, different backgrounds and things of that nature, but just love yourself and work at overstanding other people. I'm not saying make people your project, but what I'm saying is that don't take people personal, because everybody has their own issues to work out. Okay, so don't take people personal. Don't become bitter if somebody wrongs you, if somebody treats you wrong and don't know how to love you, because that just might be it. They really don't know how to love you. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys. I hope that I touched on enough. And yeah, that's just where I'm at. I'm loving myself right now. I'm loving my assignment, my purpose. I'm learning more about me, setting boundaries, and making sure that I don't let anybody else into my space unless this is what they want. You know what I mean? Oh, come on, bud. Unless they're willing to give the love back. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what life is all about. Love yourself so that you can learn to love others, so that you can learn to not take people personal, but just love them for who they are and allow them to grow where they are. Okay? But again, set your boundaries. You don't have to deal with the bullshit. Okay? All right, guys, until next time, this is Adion, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from the world, from yourself, from some real bullshit. And you are viewing Chronicles of Livin TV. The show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. Make sure you share this video, subscribe, click that like button, click that notification button so you can view every last video that I upload. Until the next time I upload, peace out, guys. I love you. Smooches.